All right, hi IBCA. I'm going to show y'all what the assignment was for class. I know it's kind of late, but so what I asked you guys to do was to take some type of information that you were learning in school from your science or your English or whatever it is that you're doing, or if you don't have a lesson like that, maybe a chapter or some sort of something out of the Bible, or out of some kind of literature or something that you like, just something educational that you could create a document kind of showing off some of the stuff that you've learned in class. So I decided to follow you, do the same thing, and kind of show you guys what I meant. I am taking accounting classes currently, and so this is the chapter opener for I think it's chapter 8. So I decided to kind of show you what I meant. Now what I did was copy and pasted this out of my, this is the thing that I use to learn right here. All my stuff. We don't have textbooks. We use this. And so what I did was just took my chapter opener, copied it, and pasted it in. And it took everything and just stuck it there. It kept it all formatted and everything. What is that? Brent's phone? Alright, well. Anyway, I'm sorry. And so I just grabbed some text to put here. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to grab some more text to put second here. So if I go to 8.1 and I just copy and paste everything in here. My computer does not want to cooperate with me. Something going on with my scrolling issues here. So yours should cooperate. Mine is not wanting to do anything. I'm holding down shift and continuing this, and hopefully it'll catch everything. We'll see. Alright, so copy. I'm going to put this right here, Control V to paste it in. Ooh, mercy. What happened here? Okay, well, I'm going to undo that. I'm going to right click. I'm just to keep text only right here, so it didn't do all that weird formatting. So there's some stuff here. A lot of this looks like nonsense because it was in some pretty graphics and now it's not. Anyway. So a couple of things we can do here. Here's a bulleted list. I can take, well, for starters, I think what I'm going to do is go to my backstage view, go to info, and change up some stuff here. Like, let's say I'll change the title to accounting 3001 chapter 8. You can put some comments here. You can do any of this. Show all properties. I can change the subject. Inventories, I think it was called. I haven't really actually studied this yet. I think this is all inventory issues. Okay. Evaluation of inventories. Here we go. Okay. You can add some stuff here. I'm gonna go back or hit home. Go back. Okay. Some of this stuff is a little bit messy. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullets right here, but I've also got a bullet and a 1. So I think it was in the translation of moving it over. So I can play around with this. I actually am not 100% sure what's going to when you move stuff over like this. So if I click the bullets, I can get rid of it and just have the numbers. Or I can change it to bullets, but right now those numbers are still there. Apparently, this looks at these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as numbers instead of text. I'm just going to leave it like, well, let me see. So it's not. So it picked up this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't look at it as actual numbers. It looks at it as part part of the text. It's actually really pretty, so I hate to undo it, but so now it has numbers. I clicked on it. It kept that the red. So it even has, see down here, my document number formats, it even has this red one right here. So that's kind of neat. That was just it being smart, picking it up from where the document that it came from. So I'm going to look at a couple of these and see what's going on here. This looks like it's still listed as normal. So what we can do here, let me see. I'm going to create a style right here. I'm going to highlight this. We actually didn't do this in class, but you can actually create a style out of something if you have something on here that you like. So this is the one that came from the Wiley Plus learning thing. And I'm going to right here tell it, hey, get to work. Tell it to create a style. It's going to take what I already have and assume that that's the style that I want to call it. I'm going to call it Stephanie 1. And so now up here, you can see I have a Stephanie 1. If I want, like this stuff that I just put right here, I'm going to call it Stephanie 1 also. So it took these things, the way this one looked, and put it here. Now this one is all caps, the other one is not. I'm going to modify this. And see if I can find it in here. I actually don't want it to be all caps. I may not have the option to change that here, so I'm going to change it here. So Stephanie 1 is this. Let's see what else we have here. Learning objectives. I'm going to call this. I'm going to like apply heading to it. Heading to this. Maybe put heading to here. I'm going to put heading to in a few of these areas. Okay, this was actually one of the, this probably needs to go into a table. I'm not going to do that right this second. I'm going to say, periodic system, call it heading to, periodic system, heading to, comparing the two, heading to, this is actually another math problem, let's see. Okay, so now I think I'm going to take my, where are they? Illustration 8.1. I'm going to call it heading 4. Heading 3. Heading 3. Oops. Heading 3. You also can hit Control Y and it will also redo whatever. I may miss some of these, but I'm trying to just give y'all the idea. I'm trying to do like a fast video to show y'all kind of what I'm looking for. Heading 3. Okay. Now, here are some bullets. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm going to define a new bullet for these things. So right here, I'm going to define a new bullet. I'm going to use a picture. I'm going to use a delivery truck since all this is talking about first in. FIFO and LIFO is last in, first out, or first in, first out, meaning when did the inventory arrive. So let's say delivery truck. These are cute. We'll use this. Hit okay. Now I have little delivery trucks for bullets. So that would be something I would change. I could, just an example of something I could change. I could insert a table of contents. I'm going to put it at the front. I'm going to hit enter here. So, might be under references. Yeah, that was on references. References table of contents. I'm going to put automatic table. Let's go with automatic table 1. Now, it automatically took everything that I already had on here. The ones that I had labeled anyway as heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and stuck them in here. So, remember, that's super easy to do, and it looks very cool. So, I'm going to, let's see. I can also hit, like this right here, source adapted from L. Hughes, L. Livingston, this right here. This is a citation. So, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to make this an end note. So, I'm going to hit Control X to cut it, and then it will be on my clipboard. I'm going to hit my end note right here. Tell it to insert an end note. So, now my end note goes right here at the end. Control V, pasted it. So remember, end notes are at the very end of the document. So even though that number, that little letter I right there was way up at the first page, it's at the very end on page 11. You can, change up what a lot of this looks like. I can say I'd rather it be symbols or 1, 2, 3, ABC, whatever. I'm just going to use the default. And anyway, so that's another little thing you can do. Let me see. What I wanted to do here was make my own smart art here just for the sake of doing it. Don't really need it because this one is completely fine. But just to make it myself, basically, so that I could just get some practice making it. I'm going to look for smart art because this clearly, like these flowcharts like this are almost always smart art. So I'm going to see how well I can replicate this. I'm not 100% sure I'll be able to conquer the same exact thing, but we're going to try. So it's some sort of I think they call this a flowchart. So I'm going to go to insert smart art. Hierarchy. And it looks like this one is going to be the organization chart. Looks like this might actually be the closest one. I think. I could be wrong, but we're going to try it. So right here, I'm going to put valuation of inventories, a cost basis approach. And then make it nice and long and skinny. I'm even going to change the colors. See if they have like a navy blue looking thing. Okay. Let me click on this little guy here. See, I want more pieces to this. So I remember how to do this. I actually don't remember. Add a shape. Yeah, there we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 8. No. This might not be the best chart to use. I'm going to go again. I'm trying to go in a hurry and It's like I told you in class, smart art's not really my forte. But I guess I should have practiced this before videoing. Let's see. Whoever created this one changed up a lot of stuff, it looks like. Looks like they used... Let's try this one again. Sure, seems like it should work. I'm not gonna fool with it. You can change all the stuff inside of here still, but I just really want to create one for you. And I'm gonna have to mess with this too much. Maybe I can figure it out before I see y'all tomorrow. Okay, anyway, that's kind of what I was talking about doing, is fooling with some of this stuff. Maybe creating a title page at the beginning for whatever it is that you're doing. You know, playing around with the design. You can choose some styles here that look very cool. You can decide to pick a different color scheme, and it'll kind of change your the way your whole page looks. Just show something random, but now it didn't affect this one really, hardly any. But it'll affect the way the rest of your titles and stuff kind of like flow out. So, if you want to do something pretty on the front, that's what it was called. I can change the this thing. Just make some cuter colors. You can turn it into word art. table of contents here. Okay, another. You can update this. Anyway, so here we go. This is good. I mean, you can do more with it. You can do whatever you want. But this is just something to get you started, to show you what I was talking about. Anyway. And then there's a whole lot more we could do with this. And I would expect you to do a lot more with it. Because this is like maybe 10% done. If I was the one doing this assignment, turn it in, this is maybe 10% of what I would do. And try to do some more, you know, play with the different kinds of things, page numbers if you want to, header, footer, references, any of that kind of stuff. Okay? Hopefully this helps a little.